Hello and welcome to Work in Progress with Nicole Engelmann, which is me, the host. And today I'm talking to Freya Padmore, an amazing web designer, Squarespace web designer, who I've known for quite a while. We've met, I think, through Wild initially. This is an online community, and we just hit it off. We're friends now. And I'm so pleased that she's the first person who I'm kind of talking to in this new podcast venture I'm doing. So, yes. Hi, Freya. Thank you for joining.
No, thank you so much for having me. I feel so honored to be the first guest. Like, I've got little butterflies. Like, oh, can you pick me? Yay!
Yeah. I mean, you were literally the first person I thought of. And it's like, okay, so now I know what I want to do. Who am I asking? It's like, definitely Freya. So, yeah. Tell us a bit about yourself. Obviously, a web designer, but what are you doing? How long have you been doing it? A bit of your
Yeah,
journey.
yeah, thank you. So, yeah, I am a website designer. I specialize in Squarespace websites, and I've been doing this for actually next week is my 2 year anniversary since I quit my 9 to 5, which
Oh,
is so
exciting.
exciting. But I've been doing it for I think it's just over 4 or 5 years, where it was originally a side hustle that I did alongside my 9 to 5, and then I ended up quitting the job and was like, yeah, I'm taking this full time. So 2 years since I quit my 9 to 5, which is incredible. And I'm just all about helping business owners, women in business, to feel confident about their websites and the home that they have online, basically. And yeah, helping people to show up confidently, whether they have DIY'd it and helping them to kind of make tweaks to their website that they've made themselves, or helping them through the whole design process and yeah, creating it from scratch, whatever it is the level of support that you need. I'm all things techie, so yeah, I would love to help.
Yeah. So was web design something you did in your 9 to 5 as well, or where did you come from, and why kind of did you decide to go into that route, if not?
Yeah, so I actually worked at a marketing agency before I went into web design, but the reason that I originally got into websites was through SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it's basically making a website rank higher in Google. And I just got so fascinated with it, particularly during my degree. So I studied digital marketing back when I did my degree, and that was kind of the subject for me that just like it just made so much sense in my brain because it's so like numbers focused but also creative. There's like lots of writing involved and different like technical things. So for me it was this amazing intersection between being super nerdy and being creative as well. And that's how I got into websites essentially, was through how can you make a website rank higher in Google? Okay, but linked onto that is, well, how can I make this website that shows up in Google actually perform well? So yeah, that's how I got into websites. And although my 9 to 5 wasn't really linked to it, I just got totally obsessed and would spend hours and hours self-teaching how to do websites and everything like that. So my website's very much rooted in the marketing knowledge that I have from my degree and my 9 to 5. But the website and the technical stuff, that's self-taught.
That's really great. I think like SEO is one of those things that a lot of people, I mean, they've all heard about it and they're like, oh, blog, that's good. But we don't really know much about it. So it's really interesting. And I think especially like web design, it ties in really well together. Like one
Yeah,
without the other is, not really working.
totally.
So
Yeah.
is like the business side of things. How did you like? What was there any challenges when you first kind of set up? Did you, because you went for web design rather than SEO, was there a reason why you specifically went more with web design rather than marketing yourself as SEO expert?
Oh, I love this question. I've not been asked this before. So yeah, when I first like decided to quit my 9 to 5, I was just doing websites on the side originally because that was something that I felt could really help people to get started, because that was something I was really passionate about, was actually helping people that are quite early on in their business journey. Because I think I'd done the like working with big companies, like I'd done that before, and it wasn't the same. Like I'd done
Mm.
internships where I was working with small business owners, and I remember particularly during COVID, actually, I joined a Facebook group where every single week we would hop on a Zoom call with a glass of wine and just chat about business and how it's going and everything like that. And it really showed me just the passion and community that comes with small business. Then when I worked in my 9 to 5 and I was working for big name brands and running their ad campaigns, but it's just not the same. It just doesn't have that passion that I really love from working with small businesses basically. So websites was something that I felt that lots of people needed support with and was a skill that I had and could provide as like a starter thing, because I think SEO, you don't see results straight away, but lots of business owners, they need results straight away. They're looking for clients right now. SEO is very much a long game, whereas a website you can like get it launched as quickly as a week if you wanted to, and you can really see that result and the impact that that has really, really quickly, which is why I kind of chose to go down that route. And it was also that combination of the creative side of things as well, like the actual design element, because I could bring my nerdy brain to my creative brain. So yeah, that was where I felt like I could help people the best, basically.
Mm. Oh, I love that. That's really great. And I know how passionate you are about the nerdy stuff as well.
Yeah.
But it's always great to be creative as well. So, obviously, you're hitting your 2 year mark. Very exciting. Have there been any kind of challenges that you felt that really helped you develop your business as well, and that you learned something from?
Mm, where do I start? There's so many.
There's always challenges, right?
Yeah,
You wake up
every
challenge.
day. Shall I name the one today?
Well, maybe
No.
the biggest that kind of stands out or something.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a classic one that everyone struggle with is finding clients. I think it's particularly at the beginning when you don't have a reputation, you don't have a name for yourself. It's hard to get yourself out there. And actually, I was at the point where I was going to multiple networking multiple times a week, as much as I can, getting out there, talking to as many people as possible. I was really doing all of the things that I thought I should be doing. I was posting on social media, I was going out to networking events, I was writing blog posts, doing all of the things that I were told that I should be doing in order to get clients, but they still weren't coming.
Mm,
And it was so frustrating. And actually, it wasn't until I got my first few clients that I started to build that like referral network and the word of mouth started to happen. But actually, I think the big thing for me that was a big learning point was kind of doing more of what works. I was ignoring the signs of like where were the clients that I was actually getting, where were they coming from? So as I say, I was going to like 3 networking events a week if I could. Like I was getting out there a lot. I wasn't getting that many clients from networking events, but actually a couple of my first few clients, they came from Facebook groups where I was just replying to comments, being helpful. If someone was asking about websites, I was commenting on them, I was emailing that person, I was doing all the things. And that was working. That was actually getting me clients, but I was still so laser focused on go to networking events, rather than focusing on what worked. So that was like a big learning thing for me, was actually if I sat down and I made a list of everyone I've worked with, where have those clients come from? I should do more of that thing. So that's definitely one piece of advice and one lesson that I've learned is really reflect on what is getting you results and double down on it basically.
yeah, that's so great. I mean, and I think like you said, a Facebook thing and commenting, it's another form of networking. It's just that it's
Totally.
digital. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I think lots of people assume that Facebook is just for it's social media, whereas you might think, oh, like LinkedIn is more professional, you get clients from there. I don't think I've ever got a client from LinkedIn, I'll be honest. And I post on there quite regularly, but I don't think I've ever got a client from LinkedIn. But even just a few hours of commenting in Facebook groups, that was enough to get me a client. So it's finding out what works for you. I think especially for me, for example, a lot of my clients, they're people who aren't very confident with tech. And like those people seem to be hanging out in Facebook groups. So that worked really well for me. But if I was looking for bigger brands or bigger businesses, then maybe LinkedIn might be a better place for me. So it all kind of depends. It's classic, isn't it? Where are your clients hanging out?
Yeah,
And it's hard to know that answer until you
yeah.
try the different things.
And until you ask people as well, right?
Yeah,
So that's
totally.
one thing that I got from you as well, is like in my contact form on the website, I ask people how they found me. And
Yes.
sometimes it's through other people, sometimes they say it's Google, sometimes it's Instagram. So it's really interesting. Like I've been in Facebook groups and stuff, but it was usually for photographers, not actually like local ones. So I've
Mm.
never really, I don't think I've gotten clients from being on Facebook, but I do get clients from like LinkedIn and, Instagram and just normal word of mouth. So that's really interesting how that works for you.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's notable as well. I think every client that I got from that Facebook group were from like they weren't from the UK. They weren't local clients. So I worked with somebody in Barbados, I worked with somebody in the US. Like they were coming from all over. So someone like you need to be in a physical location, maybe a
Hmm.
Facebook group isn't the best option for you. And something like a Google business profile might be a better option for you to focus on, and that's something that's been working really well for me as well, actually, is a Google business profile. And I'd recommend it to everyone is set one up, get your Google business profile
Yeah.
going. So yeah, that's something I'd always recommend.
Yeah. I mean, that really ties in very well where we're going next, because I wanted to ask how you felt about being visible and like building your personal brand. Obviously, being a branding photographer, it's a good thing to talk about. But in general, like I said, it's hard to kind of get your name out there and like build a kind of an audience. So how did you find that during your journey, and how has it evolved over the last 2 years?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in terms of getting visible, I found so much more confidence in going in person and meeting people in person. That's where I found that I really thrive. Like I'm very much an extrovert. Like that is who I am.
Mm,
I'll chat to anyone. I will do that. I'll smile at people. Like that's just who I am. I get on really well with people in person, and that's where I found that I thrived. And online is where I found it a lot harder. Something that did make a big difference for me actually was getting a brand photo shoot done. I remember my very first one, like I had an absolute meltdown. It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing because it was like my other half came with me and was taking pictures of me, and we was like walking around trying to find good spots. It was terrible. I had an absolute meltdown and I looked horrible, and I was like, this is not going well. I'm just never going to post ever. So actually having that first brand photo shoot, it made such a difference because I felt so much more professional and so much more, it felt like I deserved to hold that space, if that makes
mm,
sense. Like
yeah.
I deserved to take up that space. Like I'm serious about this, if that makes sense. I'm not just going to a few networking events and I have an Instagram page. It's more than that. So yeah, that was something that did make a big difference for me. But visibility, it felt a lot easier with time. The more I practiced, the more I got on video, for example, it became so much easier the more that I did it. And I think, particularly with in person networking events, I found it quite hard when somebody would ask me a question that I didn't know how to answer, or I kind of like had to open up a bit of my identity that I didn't necessarily speak about online, if that makes sense. So, for example, people might ask me, "Oh, are you a website developer? Like, do you code things?" And I'm like, "No, I don't code things. I use Squarespace because that's what works well for my clients." And I'd had one too many conversations of other web developers turning their nose up at me and being like, "Oh,
Mm,
you use Squarespace, blah blah blah." But for me and the client base that I work with, it's the perfect platform for them. It's something they can manage themselves. It's easy for them to use. It's like it's an actual business tool that's going to be useful for them, and it means that I can show you how to use this tool and you can take it and use it for yourself and feel confident in updating things, versus I could code you a website from scratch. Of course I could. Like, I've got the skill, I know how to do it, but that isn't going to be impactful for you and your business and useful at all. So when I'd had a few conversations with people face to face where I felt that people were kind of disapproving of what I was telling them, or they maybe didn't understand what I did or why I did it. Um, if I said to somebody, "Oh yeah, I got my most recent client from a Facebook group," they're like, "What? You use Facebook?" And it's you get different reactions when you're in person versus online. You're not seeing somebody just scroll past your post and thinking whatever they think. You can see their reaction in real time. So that was something that actually I think really helped boost my confidence quickly and made me really um, solid and secure in who I am and what I do and who I support, because I had to have those conversations with people to say, no, I don't do this, or no, I can't do that, or oh, I do it this way because XYZ, and almost defending yourself. So it was scary to have to be visible in that way, but I also got to learn very quickly who were my people and who weren't my people as well. So yeah, that really helped, and I enjoyed that side of being visible, is finding the people who are people that you love and love what
Mm.
you do, and not. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the thing, like going out there and like being yourself and having those conversations, or even like you said, the branding shoot, it just gives you confidence and validation that you're on the right track. And like you said, just finding out who your client is and who you're working with. I use Squarespace, and I
Yeah.
have for most of the time I've run my business. I think I started out with WordPress,
I'm
hit my
sorry.
limitations. Yeah, hit my limitations, didn't really like it anymore. And it's like, oh, Squarespace, I've heard of this, let's try this. And I think I've built my first website on Squarespace within a weekend. And I just
Amazing.
really, I really love it's frustrating, especially when you start out and you don't know what you're doing. But I just like that I can just go in and just change a bit of wording or add another photo or whatever, or just create another page quickly that I need. And I think for a lot of small businesses, it's the right tool, and
Yeah.
also it's budget friendly. Because if you have
Yeah.
like a developed website with coding, you can't do it yourself. So you always have to get someone else to do it, which
Yeah.
incurs other costs. And that's when you're starting out, or even, I've been doing it for 10 years. I don't have hundreds of pounds each month to have someone like update code and all those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's all about finding what works for you. So if you're not somebody who can afford to pay a web developer or a web designer to make every single change to your website, then it's important to make choices about tools that kind of lean into that and are things that you can manage yourself. Like for example, I know web designers who they'll be paid for hosting every single month through WordPress websites,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense for the web designer because that's reoccurring money that comes in every month. It's like, great, you're going to keep paying me every single time you want me to change things. Awesome. Yeah, that's good for the web designer, but not good for a small business owner who
Mm.
can't afford to do that and is looking for their next client, not, oh, I need to change my services page, but I can't do it, so now I have to pay someone to do it. Or like that just feels icky to me, which is
Yeah.
how I landed on Squarespace as the choice, because I could teach you how to use it. If you didn't know how to use it, I'll teach you, no problem. And you can make those changes yourself. So it is about finding the tools and the right support as well, the people that are going to be honest and open about what is the best solution for you rather than what's the best solution for them.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of like going back to a bit of visibility and branding, how did you find any ways to show up over time that feel more like you, and then less feeling less like overwhelmed? Like nowadays we're like, oh, I have to post something, or I have to do a live or something like that. You're told so many things to do, and they
Mm,
don't always feel right for us. So how have you navigated that throughout the
yeah,
last couple of
yeah.
years?
For me, it was all about finding what I actually enjoyed and what came naturally to me. So for me, that was just talking to camera. I do enjoy that kind of content. I'm not very good at like really edited things. I'm not good at B-roll with text overlay. Like I feel like my life's not aesthetic enough for that.
But I have to
So
say, I really love your videos. So I really, because it brings across your energy, and like you said, you're really good in person because you have that energy. It's like Freya is always smiling and sunshine, and obviously sunflowers. Exactly. So for anyone who can't see it, she's wearing dungarees with sunflowers, and every time I'm somewhere where I know Freya might be, it's like if I see sunflowers, I know where Freya is. Again, that's a bit of personal branding, right? People associate purple with me.
yeah.
They see something purple and they're like, "Oh, Nicole," and for you, it's probably the sunflowers.
Yeah, totally. And do you know what? This is one of the best pieces of advice that I ever received, like right at the beginning of my business, was like was to like pick outfits that you just always film in or that you're always in. So for me, I whenever I go to a networking event, I wear my sunflower dungarees. I don't care if
Mm.
this is a black tie event, I'm wearing the sunflower dungarees. Like this is my personal brand. This is what I'm going to show up in. So that was something that just it was one less decision for me to make on the day. Like, oh, what should I wear to this? It's like, no, this is my branding outfit. This is what I wear. And when I'm filming videos, I literally have like two jumpers and two tops that I choose between, and all of my videos are filmed in those same outfits. And it just really takes away the worrying about what I look like because it's like, no, all of my videos are filmed in the exact same outfits. If I film five videos at the exact same time, it doesn't matter because like they're all going to look the same. And if anything, it's going to build brand recognition because you see, oh, that's that green jumper that Freya wears. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
they're all subconscious things, but they make such a difference as well as reducing the decision fatigue that you get when you have to decide, oh, not only do I have to film this video and what am I going to say, but also what am I going to wear? Is my hair done? Blah, blah,
Mm.
blah, blah, blah. It's just one less thing you have to think about. So that was a really great piece of advice. It's like pick a couple of outfits you feel confident in. A jumper you can just bang over any outfit that you own.
Mm.
It doesn't matter. You're then ready to film and you're good to go. That's one thing that I found really, really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like I'm the same. I'm often told, "Oh, you're the one with purple hair," you know. Well,
Yeah.
obviously at the moment it's a bit, bleached out, but I'm always the one with the colorful hair. Or I've got lots of colorful jumpers now, and I'm always standing out, and I always get like, "Oh, I really like you came in." It's like, "Oh, she looks cool." It's like I don't feel cool, but it's working.
Yeah, oh no, honestly, like I'll see a clothing item in the shop and I'll be like, Nicole would love that. Or I remember when we met the first time, I was like, oh wait, I know who you are. You've got purple hair, right? I was like, I recognized you from your Instagram and the purple hair. Like it is
Yeah.
definitely this recognizable thing. And I'll see videos now and it'd be like, oh, that purple friend. And I'm like, oh, that's Nicole. Send that to her.
And it's kind of funny because obviously it hasn't started out as a tool for branding. I just literally quit my 9 to 5. It's like, purple is my favorite color. I wanted to do this for a while, so I'm doing it now.
Yeah,
And now it's
yeah,
become a thing. But yeah, it's really interesting how, and that's the nice thing about personal branding, how you can just like, you don't have to create something or personality. You just bring in what you love and make it
yes.
your thing and own it, right? And just, if you love wearing a certain brand, like your dungarees from Lucy and Yaka have lots of stuff from that as well. And when I'm out and about, I always see people wearing this stuff. It's like, oh, this is my kind of person.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like I could be friends with you.
yeah, exactly. It's like I don't really like you, and I haven't even exchanged words.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. Just own your personality and who you are and what you like, and don't be
100%.
afraid to tie that into your business, right?
Yeah, 100%. And that was the thing for me. I was like, I didn't buy this outfit specifically because I wanted to be part of my personal brand. This is the outfit that I feel super confident in. I feel like it reflects my personality. So when I go, I feel like I radiate the sunflower vibes. So yeah, it just happens to be something that's part of my wardrobe and I feel really confident in. And it was kind of partnering that with the conscious choice of okay, if I wear this regularly, then people will remember it, and I'll wear it in my brand photo shoot, and people will remember it. So, like you say, it's about leaning into what's already part of who you are and what you love. And it doesn't have to be your clothing, it could be a certain word that you say or a certain emoji that you use. These are all like tiny little signals that are part of your personal brand, but actually they're just things that you do and use anyway. You just make that conscious choice to lean into it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So before we go into the second part, which is more about practical tips, so all about website, I wanted to ask if there's something you're proud of at the moment, or even like all over in your business.
Oh, that's a really lovely question. Something that I'm proud of. Something that I'm really proud of and has been like at the forefront of my mind and my decisions recently is leaning more into the joy of business. Like, what things do I actually enjoy? What things do I find really fun to do? What things are, yeah, what are the things that light me up and actually create fun in my business, and actually leaning into that. So I've made a few decisions recently to kind of remove certain parts of my services. For example, I'm currently building a new service where I'm really leaning into the bits that just light me up rather than the bits that I feel like I have to do. So that's something that I'm really proud of, is actually kind of making that realization of what parts of my business are parts of my business that I've created because I feel like I have to, and what parts of my business are the things that really light me up and I can then lean into. So that's something I'm really proud of and really happy that I am, yeah. It's still a journey that I'm on. It's not like an end result, if that makes sense. But yeah,
It's a
I'm
work in
really pleased.
progress.
It's a work in progress. Exactly.
Yeah, I find that that's so beautiful, really. I mean, it's one of those things where I think we're always told we have to do certain things, and there's always stuff that we don't like about the business, like all the, I mean, some people it lights up the admin, and some people's like, nah, another email, or, I have to do my accounts and stuff. So I think it's really, like I said, it's such a positive um, thing to do, to just look, what do I actually love doing? Can I do more of that? How can I incorporate that more and just bring the joy back? Because sometimes it can just feel like you're fighting windmills and you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
have to do this again, and but it's not really working. So sometimes when you let go of stuff and then
Yeah.
just make room for new stuff, you find that actually this was what I needed, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And like, for example, for me, I'm not a brand designer. I am horrible at logos, and like I'll spend hours and hours trying to choose the right color palette and the right fonts and things like that. I'm not a brand designer. I'm a web designer. I like taking people's branding and converting it into a website that really works and is really SEO optimized. So I'm much more on that like nerdy side of things than the like brand design side of things. So when somebody comes to me now and asks for brand design, I hold my hands up and say, it's not my thing, but let me introduce you to my friend who is way better at this than me. Or if somebody comes to me for support with their WordPress website, before I'd say, yeah, sure, let's do it because I need the money, quite frankly. I need the
Mm,
clients, like I'll take what I can get. But they were the projects that used to stress me out so bad.
mm,
And I'd have to spend hours and hours researching something to kind of get one thing to work, which, like, it was fine. I enjoyed doing that, but it wasn't the thing that made me really excited and made me really passionate and happy about my work, basically. So it's like you said, it opens up room for more things though, because ever since I've started directing people to my like colleagues and my friends who are better at WordPress than me, they're better at branding. It's come the other way as well, where people are sending clients my way too. And it really is just opening up doors and making space for things that I enjoy so much more, because I'm have more understanding of what I like and what I don't like. And I'm getting confident in kind of setting those boundaries and saying no to things, which is so scary. And turning clients away feels like it should be illegal.
but
It doesn't
there's a
feel right.
power in saying no, right?
Yeah,
And it just
100%.
like once you know what you love doing and what you're really good at, saying no to certain things actually benefits your clients as well, because you're focusing more on the stuff you love and you're brilliant at, rather than, like, I wouldn't say half-assing, but doing things that are not as enjoyable to you. So there's a real
Totally.
power in that, and obviously, we're all self-employed, and we're that for a reason, so we can make our own rules and do the stuff that we feel aligned with. So if we then start saying yes to things that we actually don't like, that's just the same as being employed, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're 100% right. And I think, like, don't get me wrong, it's not easy to say no. Like, if the first inquiry you've had in multiple weeks is something that you don't want to do, and it's like, oh God, I've got to say no to this person, but I could really do with a new project right now. But, oh, like, that is not an easy
Yeah.
thing to do at all, don't get me wrong. And there's no shame in taking on work that you don't love. 100% do what you need to do. Equally, saying no to something that you don't love, it's only going to protect your energy so you can attract more things that you do enjoy. And also the client will get a better experience as well. Like, I'd rather somebody work with someone who's good at WordPress than somebody who's figuring it out as they go. Whereas somebody would come to me because they want a Squarespace expert and I'm not figuring it out as I go. I'm bloody good at it. So yeah, it goes both ways.
So this concludes the first part of my conversation with Freya. Please stay tuned for the second half of our conversation, which will be released in a couple of days. And then we talk all about how to build your website, how to get the most out of your website, what you have to look after in terms of SEO, and why having a Google business page is important. Thanks for listening, and talk to you soon.